Hey friends, Stephanie and Marco here for another episode of the Moreno Report. We are recording this on June 18th, so we'll try to get this up in the next 24 to 48 hours with all the edits. But Marco, we are sitting at a traffic junction in the north of Israel. Why are we sitting here today? What's going on?
Well, hi everyone. We wanted to show you how the north looks like in those days. Usually this junction hosts hundreds of cars, people, families. We are now entering the summer vacation in Israel, and it's pretty much empty here. Behind us is the Naphtali Mountains, which is like the chain of mountains that connect Israel and Lebanon. And just to give you guys an example how things looks like in these days, the north is on fire, literally, because Hezbollah is shooting rockets from like on a daily basis, except of those 2 days, and all of the mountains here were on fire, and also in the Golan, which is east from us. Message today for our audience that winter is coming regarding the north. Probably in the next few weeks, war will kickstart here in the north, will be a massive one. And let's see where it will go from here.
Now, this has been kind of the figurative slow burn over the last 8-9 months. I'm losing track of how much time has passed since October 7th, but there's just been this kind of tit-for-tat exchange between Israel and Hezbollah and Lebanon, and it's the severity of that tit-for-tat has been escalating. So I remember end of May, on the tail end of the Genesis event that we had here, I was driving up. This is Road 90 behind us, and I was driving up. I wanted to swing through this junction, and there's a burger joint here that we love. And I happened to run. I was like caught on Road 90. There's no way to turn around between here and the next junction. Just happened to make it up in between rocket barrages from Hezbollah, and so Road 90 was on fire. And that was the first kind of like, that was 3 weeks ago or so, and then there's been this the week after that. I mean, just the videos were insane. The whole north was on fire. Within the last week, our village in the Golan was spared from. We've had 2 pretty close calls with fires, so we're all really beginning to feel our anybody who's not evacuated yet. We're all feeling like our days here are numbered. So remind us how many tens of thousands of Israeli citizens are moved out of the north, like tens of thousands of IDPs within Israel.
Well, like 70,000 people evacuated from the north. Majority of them are in Tel Aviv area, in hotels. Some of them took apartments. The thing is, and I'm concerned from the day after, because all the research that they are doing, all the city municipalities that are talking about between 30 to 40% will not come back.
Sure.
So we are like kind of losing this piece of land that we call the north. Let me give you an overview what's going on in Israel in general. Let's start from the south. The army is, for the last 40 days-ish, is in attack in Rafah. Everybody remember Rafah. They are saying, the army is saying that in a couple of weeks it will accomplish its mission that destroy the Rafah brigade of Hamas. Hopefully we'll get to the leaders, Yahya Sinwar, Muhammad Deif, which are the military leaders of Hamas. We had a rescue, a very top rescue of mega operation 10 days ago. From released 4 live hostages, which everyone was excited about it. And the strategy in the south is to push Hamas to agree to the deal, which was the Israeli-American deal, which we agreed, but Hamas said no. Once Rafah will go down and relax, I'm assuming we see the majority of the army coming up to the north and joining their brothers here. and then probably we'll see a kind of an attack in Lebanon, which we don't know when, how, and. There is plans for everything, but the interesting thing about plans that usually the reality show you the opposite. So we don't know. But if you ask your friends that are evacuated from here, or ask my friends, they'll say we will not go back to the north until we will be sure that it's safe.
Right.
So an agreement, like they are talking about it, a political or a international agreement will not do the job. People will not believe it. There has to be a war. I think Hezbollah doesn't want an agreement also. So we are entering a phase of high tension here in the north. We as FAI still supporting the bomb shelter campaign because now it's the money time for it. We have a lot of calls from the city municipalities to help them. They are preparing themselves. Everybody knows that it's going that direction. So 8 months, let's see how it will end. Everything will end in the end. We truly hope that it will be a message that will echo for generation here in the north and in the south. Don't do October 7 again. It's in the Israel strategic interest to do it. We still have the Iranian problem, the nuclear capability they are developing, which is also a big thing here in Israel. Yeah.
So we launched our bomb shelter campaign in early 2022, and it was then a necessarily preemptive campaign, but it's unique, in all of these different initiatives that we've done in FAI in the different countries and regions over 10 years, that it was preemptive. So it's not like when Afghanistan fell and we fundraised for folks in Afghanistan, it was in the news. With the Kurds and the ISIS years, it was in the news. It was in the immediate, and just like, frankly, it's easier to raise money for things that are happening at the time. But the bomb shelters you need to have equipped before the war kicks off. And so this is something that we've been running now for, maybe it was 18 months, 20 months between launching the campaign and October 7th taking place. And so, in the time since then, we've been able to, we started here in Kiryat Shmona, which is kind of behind us up this way, and we've moved down into Tiberius. We did a report in Tiberius in January. So where are we now? What's moving ahead? Who's calling? What needs are there?
Basically, when we started the bomb shelter campaign, we said we are preparing the bomb shelter. We revenue them and fix them, didn't equip them. We didn't know when the war will start. We knew that, you can say a war will start in Israel. It's not a big thing, but. And then October 7 came. Then we stopped revenuing and fixing them and start to equip them. So we are waiting for 7-8 months, but now we are getting calls from all the city municipalities that are in touch with us, which is Kiryat Shmona, Tzfat, Chatzor, Tiberius, Ma'alot. It's in the west side of the Galilee. That they're saying, hey, we are in our money time now. We need to hit the road.
Because last week, when we've had two big days of Hezbollah starting fires in Israel that I think anybody would have seen in the news. The last one got deeper than, Hezbollah shooting further into Israel.
Into Tiberius. Like the range of missiles that are being shot now arrived all the way to the Sea of Galilee.
Right. Which is 30 minutes down the road from here?
45 minutes even. And it's just a matter of decision of Hezbollah that will shoot missiles all the way to almost Tel Aviv and beyond.
The evacuation line right now is the first 10 kilometers from the border?
Yeah, 7, 6.5 actually. The thing is that in Tel Aviv they have 1.5 minute alarm, siren, and then you have time to go into the bomb shelter or to find the shelter. Here, we don't have time.
Right.
Here, it's like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So that means people will stay in the bomb shelter all day long because they don't want to wake up the kids in the middle of the night or I don't know where. So they probably, and then they need long-staying equipment in the bomb shelter that we provide them, like TV screens and microwave and fan and the basic stuff that people will need once the war will kick off in the north, because all the north will be all the north. Like what they evacuate, it's 5-6 kilometers. We have like 40-50 kilometers. It's what, Nahariya, Haifa, all the cities here, Tiberius, no one will evacuate them. Where they will go? So they will stay, and they will have to be in the bomb shelter for we don't know how much time. Like it can be 4 weeks, it can be 4 months.
So this isn't the. It's like living in a movie. It's like living in a bad movie. Like this isn't just the weather that we're talking about. This affects Marco and I. Marco and his family are closer to the line than we are, and they've not been evacuated yet. So this is something that I myself, as an evangelical Christian, we've asked ourselves, what does it mean to stand with Israel? What does it mean to show strategic solidarity with Israel? And Jeff had mentioned when he came, you guys did an episode together in November. Our friends are saying hi to each other back here, if you can hear that. But I remember somebody asking Jeff in November, like, where did all of the evangelicals go? Like, we usually have all these tour buses, all of these tens of thousands, of hundreds of thousands of people coming to visit, but where are they now? And the bomb shelter campaign is a way that we can show up right now in wartime. And so, we'll plug that in at the bottom of the screen here. But I wanted to run a couple of just news items by you. We'll talk more about these later maybe. But I know, as you said, the Hamas has repeatedly rejected the deal. And so Biden, very quietly, yesterday I saw that the administration lifted any restrictions that he had placed on Israel's weapons purchases from the U.S. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I saw like they authorized like $18 billion deal of airplanes, and the thing is, what I'm hearing here in Israel, that the Biden administration is holding back ammunition that we need for the war in Lebanon, immediate ammunition. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they are saying. And I also hear that Israel got a message from Biden administration that say, hey guys, hold on until November 5th, the election day. Don't start a war with Lebanon till we have an election. I don't know if it's true, but that's also something I hear. In any case, no matter what we say or no matter what we think, a war can happen in 5 minutes. Just enough that Hezbollah will shoot a missile and we kill a couple of civilians, which he didn't aim to do it now, and then it's done. Or at the same time we shoot something to Lebanon and we kill. Like it's the illustration of it, it's both sides are in a room full of fuel gas and throwing, matches to the air, and it can blow up in seconds. I think war with Lebanon is something done. It will happen now. The question is when.
When and how long?
When we know when it will start, how it will end, how it would look like. No one knows. No one knows. Believe me. I've been in war a couple of times. You know how you started it. You don't know how you ended it. So, in any case, we as FAI will support the North people, Center people. Provide them whatever we need and to do that.
Okay, so approaching late June, we're now in the countdown. Any of you that have siblings, I have a brother that I was really close in age with, and we were constantly at each other's throats, and there was always this undercurrent of animosity. So as Marco said, Israel and Hezbollah have been in this like tit for tat, like I throw a match, now it's my turn to throw a match, but at any point it's going to go too far and somebody's going to hit somebody the wrong way, even if it's on accident. It's all fun and games until like I hit my brother the wrong way, and then a match lands in a puddle of fuel. So ways that we can engage right now, things that we can do right now. Bomb shelter campaign, outfit as many people in the north as we can. We're all planning how we can like hunker down and camp out in our safe rooms for weeks or months if need be. Anything else? What
I don't know. The needs will be massive. We will, go with the stream here. It can be like supporting families in the bomb shelters, even bringing them food, because grocery will not work. All this stuff, everything. We just need resource for that to be ready for it.
So we'll keep you as updated as we can. Marco and I will do as many in-person episodes as we can, unless evacuation pushes us into some different corners of the country. But for any Israeli watching this, we just want to say we love you, we're with you, and we're committed to seeing this through.